Hello and welcome to Point Blank with Danielle. So, Point Blank with Danielle are a series of shorter fashion and skincare videos that don't require a whole bunch of explaining and education and things like that. But if you're looking for stuff like that, I do have longer videos, so make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And in today's Point Blank with Danielle, we're going to be talking about how to find a great esthetician or dermatologist. All right, so every now and then I get questions like, hey Danielle, I live in Boston, can you recommend a dermatologist? And then I'm kind of like, I don't know, man. Although it seems like I know a lot of dermatologists, I don't know a lot of dermatologists like that. And even from the ones that I know, I still feel like you need to do your own personal research to make sure that they're going to be a fit for you. But here are a couple of things that you can do to try to find a skincare professional. We'll start with dermatologists and then we'll talk about estheticians. So one of the first places that you can look is through your insurance. Whatever health insurance that you have, typically they have a directory of doctors and specialists that are in your network. So you look through the directory, you find some that are near you, and then you kind of, do your Googling and see if you can find some reviews on them online. And one of the things that I think is the most important when it comes to seeing a dermatologist, an esthetician, those kind of skincare professionals, is to make sure that they have receipts, that they know what they're doing when it comes to black skin, because some of them don't. And unfortunately, you use too high of a percentage of a certain active, or you use the wrong laser, or you do a procedure in an incorrect way that causes some sort of irritation that could lead to hyperpigmentation or keloids. It becomes a big mess. So you definitely want to, throughout all of the avenues, make sure that the person has receipts that they can work well, very well, successfully on black skin. So we talked about looking through your insurance and seeing what their directory is of the doctors in your network. Another way that you can find a dermatologist is through asking your primary care doctor. Doctors know other doctors. Doctors hang with other doctors. And a lot of times, they want to refer their friends because it kind of just helps to strengthen their business, if they're giving each other some good referrals back and forth. So ask your primary care doctor if they can recommend a dermatologist. And even from that recommendation, you still want to do your research and your Googles to review that person. So another way that you can find a skin pro near you are through directories. One in particular, the American Academy of Dermatology, you can find a dermatologist near you. Now keep in mind that some dermatologists specialize in certain areas, like you may have some that specialize in pigmentation, you may have some that specialize in hair loss, some that specialize in cosmetic procedures, some that specialize in lasers, so on and so forth. So depending on what you need, you may be able to kind of narrow things down from there. Now, even when you're looking at a directory like the American Academy of Dermatology, you still want to make sure that you do your research and see if you can find some reviews and some receipts that they can work successfully on black skin, because like I mentioned before, that is very important if you have black skin or skin of color. Skin of color, black skin, they're not interchangeable, but you know what I'm saying. Now, some other directories that I've come across are the Skin of Color Society. That's a great one. I actually have gone to a couple of their social events for the media in the past, so I've met a lot of dermatologists through there. Now, the Skin of Color Society are definitely going to have members that specialize in skin of color, but again, make sure, even if you find someone from that directory, make sure you do your research, Google, get some reviews, make sure that they can take your insurance, that they specialize in whatever you need specializations in. So definitely still do your research even after you go through the directory. Now, there are also directories where you can find both dermatologists and estheticians. So one, Brown Skin SD, I will leave a link, and there'll be links to all of this in the description box, is a place where you can find estheticians that specialize in skin of color, as well as the Black Skin Directory in the UK. That Black Skin Directory UK is gonna not only incorporate estheticians, but also dermatologists. So if you're in the UK, check that out. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any information for any of the countries or territories. So if you are not in the US or not in the UK, Google around. You'll probably be able to find some sort of directory for your specific country, continent, territory, city, what have you. So another way that you can kind of find dermatologists and estheticians near you. Now, Facebook might be a better place for you to find this, but I don't go on Facebook very often, so me being able to tell you where to go on Facebook to kind of narrow this down might be a little hard. But on Instagram, I know for sure if you kind of search through hashtags, maybe like hashtag hyperpigmentation, hashtag filler, hashtag Botox, because people love to share, and under certain hashtags you might be able to find people who share their results, and then you can see which doctor or esthetician that they went to. Hopefully they'll be in your area. Maybe even search local hashtags like New York City esthetician, Boston dermatologist. You know, get creative when it comes to, you know, putting the hashtags and searching and finding, because you'd be amazed at what you find. There are so many dermatologists and estheticians on social media nowadays, because social media is such a great marketing tool. So, you know, being able to search through social media might be a way that, you know, you can kind of find your next dermatologist, your next esthetician. Another way, I mean, just doing a cold Google search, black esthetician in Brooklyn, NYC, black doctor that specializes in pigmentation in Des Moines, Iowa, you know, like just, you know, go do some Google searches, see who you find, and of course, you know, reference their references and, you know, feel them out. Now, after you've done all this searching and maybe you find someone that you're interested in going to see, try to do a consultation. Now, understand that a consultation is more than likely not going to be free, and it's because, you know, you're taking this person's time, and, you know, you could be using that time. Time is money, okay? And sometimes though, if you do a consultation, sometimes that consultation fee can go towards whatever your service is going to wind up being. But I would definitely say if it's your first time seeing a professional, whether it be the esthetician or a dermatologist, try to make your appointment when they're not very busy, because while, you know, people have their days, they're off and on days, sometimes when things are really, really busy and a dermatologist or an esthetician is very booked, they may not have like that extra time to, you know, answer a bunch of additional questions as they would if they were, you know, they had a little bit more downtime. So take that into consideration as well. Now, sometimes, you know, trying to decide if this is the right type of relationship for you is a lot of that is intuition, and nobody can really teach you intuition. It's just what you feel, like the kind of vibe that you're getting from this person. That you can usually play into whether or not, you know, you really want this person, you know, working on your skin and, you know, you spending your hard-earned coin. So, you know, keep an eye out for that as well. But that's something that's very individual, and which is why I personally, like, if I like a dermatologist and I go to that dermatologist, I of course love that person, I'm gonna go to that person, but it doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna be like, only go to this person, because, you know, we have all different types of experiences, different personalities, different vibes. You know, the vibe ain't right, then the vibe ain't right, you know what I mean? But anyway, those are my tips on finding a good dermatologist or esthetician near you. If you have others that you would like to add, of course, leave them below in the comments, and I'll see you in my next one. Follow me on social. Links in the description box. Bye.